Welcome to the Let Yourself Go podcast, where we discuss everyday techniques to work better. And I'm your host, Silas. Today's topic is stress. How to stress without distress. Through the course of the episode, we'll define what negative and positive stress response looks like and how to prevent stress from ruining our lives. At the end of the episode, I'll leave you, dear listener, with tips for how to overcome distress. Thanks for taking the time to live mindfully. Do you believe that stress can be good for you? The nature of stress is such that we can't avoid it entirely, because stress is associated with the expression of all our innate drives, and the more we know about it, the better we can use it to our advantage. Hans Selye, a Canadian endocrinologist, described it as the non-specific response of the body to any demand made upon it. And by that definition, a painful blow and a passionate kiss can be equally stressful. It is not the stress that is a problem, but our reaction to stressors that really counts. To not react but respond to stressors is both an art and a science. There's no one way to grapple with stressors, since they show up in varying situations and scenarios. To illustrate this further, consider two people who have to give a presentation before an audience of 1,000 people. Person A's immediate reaction is, where do I even begin? I have neither the skills nor the resources to accomplish this. Person B's response is, hell yeah, bring it on. If you were to judge who would give a rousing presentation based on both responses, you'll be forgiven for counting person A out of it simply for their reaction to the task. We all come to these crossroads at all stages of life where we're tasked with more responsibility than our current skill set. And our response either inspires distress or eustress, and by extension, self-confidence or lack thereof. So then, to experience stress without distress, we need to have a belief system made up of all we find meaningful and important. It's this philosophy of life that directs how we behave and act on a daily basis, such that when challenges arise, we reach inside and decide how to approach and make progress. A philosophy of life is important because much of our goal-directed activities come from a foundation of what is valued. 4 tips to overcome distress. Number 1, start with a to-do list. When you start with a to-do list, you break down a heavy task into a small task where you have actionable first step, a second step, and on and on and on. That way you give yourself a fair chance to actually accomplish what you set out to do. Number 2, talk yourself into it. When you're not feeling like it, look yourself in the mirror and then talk yourself into it. Remind yourself why it's important to do it and then go ahead and do it. Number 3, use a timer. Use the available techniques that have already been created. For example, the Pomodoro technique and the 52-17. The Pomodoro technique encourages you to work for 25 minutes, rest for 5 minutes, and then do it over and over and over again. The 52-17 technique encourages you to work for 52 minutes and then rest for 17 minutes and do it over and over and over again. Number 4, act on what you know, not how you feel. What we know is more important than how we feel. How we feel can sometimes betray us, where we don't feel motivated at the start of it. But when we talk ourselves into it, when we act on what we know as opposed to how we feel, then we get started. Soon enough, the task gets finished. So act on what you know, not how you feel. Thanks for listening. Catch you on the next one.